Hi guys, Sandy here. In this video today, we're going to talk about the most successful way of finishing the point and also probably the most satisfying, and that is when you hit your smash down into your opponent's court to bounce over that back fence. They call it out by 4 in Spanish, and that's because the back fence is 4 meters high. And so in this video, we're going to talk about when would be a good time to play that shot and also the technique for that shot so that you can make that a high percentage of the time. If you want to improve your paddle, please click the subscribe button. That way it makes sure that you'll get our weekly videos on how to improve your game. So to begin with, we're going to talk about the physics of the shot. Now, you're going to hit this shot flat. There's no spin on this shot, but you need to hit the ball down to bounce and then clear that back fence. So there's a few factors that come into play. To begin with, the angle at which you hit down. Now, obviously, the angle of your contact point depends on how close you are to the net. For example, the further you move back, the higher that contact needs to be in order for you to get that angle to bounce over the fence. You also need to consider the power on this shot. You need to hit that ball quite hard in order to bounce and then go over the fence. So taking that into consideration, the closer you are to the net, the easier this will be. Even if you're really close, you can do it on a lower ball because you have that angle and trajectory to hit down. So you want to basically see an easy ball from your opponent that you can come forward, either a smash or a high volley that you can play down when you're close to the net. The other time this might happen is if your opponents have hit a smash down against that back glass and it's coming over this way and you end up being close to the net this side, and again you've got a good trajectory and angle down to hit down and out of the court. When it comes to technique for this shot, the real key is the early recognition and early preparation. So if the ball is coming from the other side and you're going to do it early like this, you need to see that they're on the defense before they even contact that ball. If you see that they're reaching and they're about to hit you an easy soft shot, then you want to come forward immediately looking for that easy ball. And the sooner you move, the sooner you get into position, the closer to net you can be and the easier it will be to finish. The same applies if your opponent is smashing. If they hit a hard, aggressive flat smash down off the glass, you want to be already moving halfway up the court when they're contacting the ball. That gives you time to get up to the court and be aggressive in this position. So a couple of technical tips. First of all, you want to make sure that your racket is coming down on that ball, so the racket needs to go above the height of the contact before it comes down. You want to also make sure that that contact is in front of you. It's very difficult to hit down on the ball if it's behind your body. And then the third thing is that you might need to use a little bit of wrist to make sure that you get that trajectory, particularly if you're using it on the backhand side and you want to come down like this, but also on the forehand side in order to help get that steep trajectory in order to get the bounce up over that back fence. There's a few common errors for this shot. Probably the most common error is players going for this shot when they're too far back in the court. And if they're too far back in the court, it means their angle of trajectory of the smash is actually going to be too shallow and it's not going to clear the fence, which actually means it's going to bounce, come off that back glass or off the back fence and bounce for the opponents to hit back. So you only want to go for this if you're forward and you've got the angle to do so. Another common error is that players try and do this on really difficult balls. For example, a ball that comes over their left side and then they try and do this with a backhand smash, which is going to be very difficult to do. It's much easier for you to do this on the forehand side. And another problem is that players aim for the wrong target zone on the court. You want to aim really short up the court because if you aim deeper, it doesn't again have that trajectory to bounce over the back fence. So it needs to be really in the front half of the opponent's court. A good way to practice this is hitting down against your back glass to finish the point on the other side. It's good to practice both forehand and backhand side because in a match you could have both. It's good to practice it forehand and backhand smash when it's off your own back glass, but when it comes from your opponents to begin with, it's probably much easier to do this on the forehand side, because on the backhand side it can be difficult to generate enough power. Now, this finishing is something that we talk a lot about in our tactics course, how to get into the right position, and when you get there, what you should be doing to win the point. So I'll put the link down in the description below, but that would be a great place to go if you want to improve your match play tactics.